What is edit back? This is one of the hardest things to do because, first of all, you really have to listen and to get your manic mind to stop thinking about what you're going to say. When you are talking to somebody, you want to connect with them, you want to relate with them, you want to, show that you understand where they're coming from. And actually, what we're doing is we're taking their story, ripping it away from them, and making it our own. But to truly listen, you have to have your mind blank and focus on it. It's a discipline that really is incredible. Try it with your kids, try it with your best friends, try it socially first just to get your mind used to it. That it's hard to listen to somebody talk without thinking about what you want to say or what you want to ask. So you're truly listening to the person and they're talking about their trip to Barcelona and how they met somebody and there was royalty involved and you realize the historical implications about something. And the edit back is, whoa, great trip, history, relatives, and then shut up. Shut up. Because then you know what they're going to do? They're going, yeah. And then we had dinner. And oh my God, it was on the top of this palace and we were overlooking the whole place. And it was so beautiful. And if that person is telling me that story, I'm able to, oh my God. And then you got to go out to dinner and they'll say, yes. And they keep going. Now, I have 100 questions for that person. I want to know exactly where it was, what was the name, how long did you spend there, how are you related, what's going on, did you get any work done, or were you only partying around? The fact that I was able to only edit back, which gives one sentence back to the person about what they said, I would not have gotten all that information. So if I hear you correctly, if I understand you correctly, what I think you said, my opinion, cut those words because everyone knows those are taught. Some people think learning how to listen or edit back is being able to say, so if I understand you correctly, those phrases have something to do with listening. You know what I say to that? Don't do that. No, really listen to the person. So when they're saying something, you are giving them the headline back. So it was so much fun because I was teaching a class, and these are people who were newer in their career. Some of the smartest people that I've run up against. I mean, they were great and they were challenging everything, and we were just having a blast. And when I got to the edit back, that first, before you go to your questions, you edit back so they keep telling their story. And they're looking at me like I had a you know what on my head. I mean, they were looking at me like I was crazy. And oh, yeah, this is so easy. So, dude, number one, give a paragraph about the most exciting project that you're working on. They were talking about the project and they got up to a certain point of how they got it, what they were doing, and they stopped. And then the other person, and it was the smartest person in the class, they said to the person, so how did you get it? So I stopped them. I go, wait a minute, you're supposed to edit back. And they go, what? And I go, well, but I want to know how they got it. So who are you talking about right now? Oh, I'm talking about myself. I want to know how the person got it. I said, okay, and there's nothing wrong with you wanting to know, but before you go to you and what you want to know, let the person tell more about their story than just that. Take a giant microscope off yourself and you put it on the other person. All right. This is a hard thing to do because we are narcissistic, all of us, up to a certain point. And to be able to get it to where we let the other person tell the story, we will find out more information. And sometimes the information we find out will totally redirect our questions. And that's how we become more efficient with our time with each other. And efficiency isn't about the bottom line necessarily. Efficiency is more about productivity. The more efficient you are with each other's time because you actually are exchanging information and you're focused on each other, that leads to productivity. Productivity leads to happiness in business no matter what. Who does not want to be more productive? So I had to explain it over again to these adorable people. And the guy went to the second paragraph about the project, stopped, the smartest guy in the class again asked the question. Now got halfway through the question and finally looked at me like, oh. Because sometimes it takes a while to realize how much we're into what we want to know. The questions you ask, the questions that come as the journalist to find out more. If you've let the other person talk more in the beginning, your questions are smarter, more focused, more developed. So, yes, the fact that you're a journalist and you ask good questions is great. But if you can get this so the other person can tell their story a little bit more, and it's truly their story because you help them with that, the information that you get to be able to ask really, really good questions to get to whatever phase you guys have to go to next is impeccable. I do want to emphasize that it is one of those skills like planks. I do planks almost every morning. Is it easy? No. Do I have to remember how to position myself? Yes. Does it take continued discipline, even though I've been doing it for years? Yes. To actually listen to somebody and not think about what you're talking about takes a discipline every time you do it. It never comes naturally because we are curious and it's a gift. But to be that way and not let the other person tell the story is stupid. So I try very hard not to be stupid, and I hope you will too.